little bit of background about the organization that I work for and about me. The Hampshire Small Business Development Center is a nonprofit organization. There are SBDCs nationally. Every state has SBDC offices. So we're funded by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which is a federal agency, and we'll also get some funding, although that was cut with this last legislative session, by the state of New Hampshire and economic development, and we're an outreach program, so we all get, in other words, we all get paid by the University of New Hampshire. So my background is in the restaurant industry. I owned a chain of restaurants since 1983, and I downsized until the year 2000 when I kept one of the restaurants that I just sold June of 2012, just this past June, just 7 or 8 weeks ago. And so when I did downsize to one restaurant, my goal really was not to own one restaurant. I wanted a chain where I'd be retired 5 years ago. See how that worked out. I had a full-time operations manager already in place, so I decided let me look for employment outside of the business, and I found a position with the Small Business Development Center. I've been very happy there ever since. It's been 11 years now. And really what we do is we help primarily with access to capital, so borrowing money for growth, access to capital, turnaround, technical assistance around management training, what a business might need to get to the next level. So you're in operations, you understand your business, you understand your health food store, but what does it really take to understand every aspect of that business? So accounting, marketing, management, and operations, hopefully you're good at, or different operational systems. All of our business advisors are, we all have entrepreneurial experience. Hi. And we all are nationally certified by an organization called the ASBDC, the Association of Small Business Development Centers, and we all have MBAs. I put it in that order because, you know, MBA sounds good, it's great and everything, but I think the practical experience has much more value. We have MBAs because it just adds to that little credibility of what we do. So I will leave this relatively open. If you have questions, just either blurt it out or raise your hand, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm not big on formalities, so and it is a summer, and so there. So any questions so far? Okay, good. What is a business plan? Why, you know, a business plan is just a blueprint of your business. I'm going to frame this around a business plan. We can substitute that. Oh, let me pass around a sign-up sheet so we have your information. There are 3, just because we only had room for 5 in each page. And at the end, I'm going to pass around an evaluation, or I'll do that now. If you could fill out this evaluation form and leave it before we break up. So, you know, we really want to understand what we do and how we can make it better, and what we do well. A business plan is really a blueprint of who you are as a business. It doesn't even, you know, there are a lot of micro businesses in here, small businesses, lifestyle businesses. And we're not really looking for a formal business plan. It's just, you know, I'm speaking to an audience. I think that you have a lot of lifestyle businesses here, or potential lifestyle businesses. And, you know, outside of possibly the real estate development, maybe you don't need a formal business plan, but quite possibly in your real estate development, maybe in your consulting, and maybe in your food co-op, I am hoping I'm not missing anything else here, you might need a formal business plan. And there are different sections of a business plan, or let's substitute the word business plan for there are different aspects of importance when you're in business, right? We don't need a formal business plan many times. And you really need to understand about your business, and it's a real planning process. So I'm probably gonna what's your name again?
Kelly.
Kelly. I'm probably gonna pick on you tonight and a lot, and make you as an example, because you should be in the planning stages now of starting a business, because you've got empty space right now. You should be thinking about what steps you need to take to start that business, right? And with your consulting business, you might want to expand out what you do a little. I'm sorry.
She does consulting.
And your
Everything else.
everything else. Okay. With your everything else business and your consulting business, you want to think about whether you're in the right direction, whether your market is there, etc. So there are really two parts of thinking about that whole process. One is the narrative, the operation, how you make this, how you do that, what kind of quality and price wheat you buy for your bakery, for your bread, the whole operation. The other part is the financial projection. So if you're going to the bank for money, or going to the first line of defense for financing a business are the 3 F's. Anyone know what that is? Family, friends, and fools. So you want to think about what it takes from all those operational, management, and marketing point of view to be in business and be successful. And really what's important is financial projections, and that's what the SBDC helps a lot with. We provide technical assistance around access to capital issuance, and in order to go to the bank, you need a set of financial projections. Forgot to mention that all of our services are free, because we are federally mandated not to charge for our services, and 100% confidential. If you have confidentiality issues, if I'm talking to you as you're opening up your health food store, without your permission, I cannot discuss that with anybody else in this room or anybody else. But many times you would give me permission to discuss with a bank or a financial partner, right? Hi. So in a business plan, we do need to present 2 parts. And again, as you think about planning a business, starting a business, buying a business, growing your business, you really need to think in those 2 different areas. So what time period are you thinking about? Are you thinking about the startup time period? Are you thinking about 1 year? I usually like to think about 1 to 3 years. All right? What's your plan over the next 1 to 3 years? We do financial projections usually over 3 years, and that's what banks require, generally speaking. There are 5 major areas when you're in a business or starting a business that you really need to think about. Sort of the executive summary in a formal business plan, but the different areas of business are marketing. And why is marketing so important? There are different areas of marketing. You need to understand who your market is. I'm sure what's your first name again?
Dennis.
Dennis. I'm sure you have an understanding. How long have you had the bakery?
About 4 years.
Okay, so I'm sure you have an understanding as to who your market is. They're restaurants, maybe bakeries. You've got some retail, some consumers.
Retail stores, subscribers.
Right. So you have a good understanding of who your market is. So let's say you wanted to expand, and you wanted to expand outside of this area and start a larger delivery service. You would have to understand who that market is, who the players are in that market, and also who your competition is, right? Because even though you might not think that you're competing against a Hannaford Brothers, let's say, you are. because they also sell bread, and you're competing against the local bakeries, and you're competing against the church fairs, and this and that and the other thing. So marketing is very important. And marketing comes in so many different aspects to it. And management and operations, who will be managing your business? How will you, as the owner, manage all the different parts of it? And of course, the financial section is vitally important, because when you do go for funding, or when you plan out your business for yourself, if you're investing money, if you're self-funded, you want a return on that investment, right? So if you do write a formal business plan, you start with an executive summary, which is what we'll call the elevator pitch, which if you take 5 minutes to talk to somebody about your business plan, what will you be talking about? So you'll highlight all of the different areas of your business. What's your product or service? What kind of resources are you in need of? How much money are you looking for? What is your competition like? How are you going to operate your business? What are the day-to-day tasks? And who are you? What is your company? What is the culture of your company? What is your I'll call corporate culture? You know, are you part of the community? Are you an active community member? Will your employees also be a part of the community? You know, what is your corporate culture? A lot could be said about that from a business point of view. You know, again, your corporate culture goes with your mission, right? You don't have to have a mission statement, but what is your community involvement? Will you be giving back to the community? Will you be mentoring students that are in school? What are your goals? What are your objectives for that business? Is it purely financial, or is it to make it more of a community space? When I owned my restaurant, I was very proud that we had the resources to be able to give back to the community. We were known as a location that local organizations can come to and ask for assistance, normally product that we would either give away or within our budget, of course. But that's called the triple bottom line. We've got the 3 Ps: people, planet, and profit. Profit is number one, because without profit and people, you have to treat your people respectfully, within laws, of course, treat them well. So you've got profit. Without profit, you can't afford to pay your people well, and you certainly can't afford to have a corporate culture where you can give away to the community as much as maybe you'd like, right? So it's called the triple bottom line, and big proponents of that would be Stonyfield Farm and Ben & Jerry's when they were Ben & Jerry's. Really giving back to the community when you can afford to. Again, without profit, I'm not able to do that. So it's really important to build up a profitable business when you're thinking about your corporate culture, if that's important to you. So the market, when you think about your marketing strategy, really need to answer 3 questions. What is your message? If I'm a consumer and I think of your company, what do I think of? Right? What do I think of as the consumer, not as the owner? You know, take your owner hat off and think about your market. It doesn't have to be consumer, it can be B2B, business to business, but as your customer,